I dug feverishly through the garbage bag. Spaghetti noodles, dirty diapers, organic beef wrappers, no tooth. It has got to be in here somewhere. Snack baggies, applesauce pouches, no tooth. I really am the worst mother in the world. Last night, as I tucked my angel, I use that word loosely, into bed, she asked, what was I going to do with her tooth? My 6-year-old doesn't believe in the tooth fairy, Easter bunny, or even, sadly enough, Santa. So, with a kid like that, it's best to always shoot straight from the hip, no sugarcoating. I'm going to save your tiny tooth for you. That way, when you grow up and you have a little girl, you can show her the tooth you lost eating pizza when you were 6 years old. My daughter squealed with delight and hugged me tightly. You're the best mommy in the world, she said while covering my face with kisses. Not a mere 12 hours later, my status had plummeted to the depths of mommy hell. This straight shooter was secretly garbage digging in soggy slippers with floppy boobs and a hornet's nest atop my head. There was no time to get pretty or strap in the girls before my tooth excavation because I was already running about 10 minutes behind schedule on the one day that we absolutely could not be late for school. That day, my ex-husband was attending class with our daughter, and the last thing I needed was for her to arrive late with one less/missing tooth. And God forbid me still wearing soggy slippers and an unharnessed bosom. A choice had to be made, my dignity or my daughter's tooth. Like any other loving, devoted, selfless mom, of course I chose my dignity. Some of you great moms may judge me, but here's the thing. It's hard for a newly divorced mom to hold on to her dignity. For argument's sake, let's say all moms start out with 100 dignity points. By some miracle, you've managed to survive teething, potty training, and terrible twos with 80 points still intact. No major meltdowns, no stalking the pediatrician, no threatening the bully kid on the playground. You're doing pretty good in the dignity department. Then bam, divorce. That's like an automatic 50-point deduction. So now you're down to 30 points on your best day. Let me tell you, 30 to 0 on the dignity scale is a very slippery slope when it comes to divorce. Like the time I saw my soon-to-be ex-husband on a date. That could have easily cost me a quick 25 dignity points. But instead of turning the restaurant into an episode of Real Housewives of Baton Rouge, I politely introduced myself and then shamelessly took off the wedding rings I had previously not had the courage to remove. As I slipped my rings into my purse, I began to think of all the different elaborate lies I could tell my daughter to explain away the absence of the sparkly rings she loved to tinker with at bedtime, while she asked me the same million questions about my wedding, how mommy and daddy met, or for me to tell her one more time how God made her especially for us. Hanging on to my dignity in those moments were the most difficult. For some reason, I didn't seem to mind that the rest of the world had their own sordid, scandalous, and racy ideas about why my marriage ended. But I often wonder what my baby girl thinks about mommy no longer dropping her to school every morning. Or if she will hate me for ruining her life by making her eat school lunch on the day her dad pets her. There have been many days when I threw my dignity out the window and drove to school in PJs and sat in the car across the street just to get a peek at my rascal because I missed her so. or to make sure she was dressed warmly, or to see that she was rested and had pep in her step. She misses me as well when we are apart. She comes up with all sort of creative ways to see me and her daddy in the same place at the same time. Of course, that erupted all kinds of hurt and mommy guilt. However, I try not to tie my daughter's accomplishments or failures to my own self-worth. And when my angel began orchestrating unscheduled co-parenting scenarios, I became diligent in the preservation of my dignity points. Lord knows I could not show up at school looking like a crazy, divorced, trash-digging, floppy boobs, soggy slippers wearing mom. Which brings me back to my original dilemma. Truth or dignity? I chose dignity. Packed up the garbage, showered, dressed in a crisp ensemble, applied some lip gloss, slipped into my Tory Burch fancy mama flats, grabbed my keys, and strutted out the door with my dignity points and head held high. It is my hope and prayer that my daughter will learn from my example, that she will know that she is loved and cherished by both her parents, that she will make valiant efforts to do her best. And on the days when she fails, I pray that she will forgive herself and pledge to do better the next day.